Okay, absorbing a check. What we want to do here, this goes back to a little bit about getting to the front of the goal. Another thing, kids are becoming they're gear-centric, right? They have all new gear, all really nice gear. They got the best arm pads, best shoulder pads, all the best helmets you can buy, and they don't want to be touched. All right, Sean alluded to it earlier. Offensive guys don't like being touched. So we tried a bunch of different things, and this we did here. I actually did with our little guys, and I did a little more forceful than Timmy Troutner did here. They're with our 2022s this fall, and it worked really well. So what we're trying to do is get them to run through a check. What you hear a lot defensively is put the stick in front, get the stick in front. I don't care defensive if the stick's in front or not. I don't. Because the stick isn't stopping anybody if the offensive guy's good. If your body's in front of me, that's going to stop me from going to the goal. So a lot of guys are teaching the stick in front defensively as if that's enough. It's not enough. So we're teaching our guys, if a stick's in front, you have to fight through that stick. We do two things. One is, if a stick's in front of me, I lean into it and then I run towards the stick head, because the guy can't stop me then. If that defender's behind me a little bit and his stick's in front, I run into his hands and I run towards the stick head as I lean in. I'm going to run around him eventually. The only way he's going to stop me is by holding me. If that stick's only the stick's in front. We're also trying to teach, this all teaches guys to run, and a guy swings the stick, turn. That's why you have pads. All right? Absorb that check, turn the shoulder. Everything we've been trying to do is teach them to turn their shoulders so that my hands are here. The stick hits me, I can't get to my hands. If I run this way, my hands are going to get checked. I got to turn this way. All right? You're not beating a kid up here. A lot of people are like, well, am I going to hurt the kid? I don't think you're going to do that unless you really don't like them. I used to do this with a stick, and I put it around a couple kids' necks, so I stopped using a stick. So what we have is we take a blocking pad. So there's feeders here. These guys about 5 yards below goal line. Here's a coach with a blocking pad. Now, Timmy Troutner was one of the nicest guys in the world, so he wasn't whacking him very hard. Instead, this guy ran around the pad. We don't want him running around the pad. We want him running through the pad. He was a little tentative. And watch, they'll duck their heads down? It's not what you want. Heads got to be up. They got to see where they're going, turn their shoulder, and run right through. He ran around it. He ran around it. This guy does a pretty good job running right through it, but he ducks his head. He's afraid. It's a blocking pad. It's foam. It's not hurting you. This guy does a good job. We'll run right through it. Hit him hard. I would like Timmy to swing a little bit harder at him here. Timmy's really nice. You can put two hands on that blocking pad and really swing it at him. And the harder you swing it, the more likely they're going to turn and they'll get used to it. You can't hurt them with this thing. All right? Now, we found the little guys, what we did is, we just swung it, and then we came and we met them, and we jammed them, and they had to run to the outside of the blocking pad as if they're fighting for the head of the stick. Then what we did is, we taught them an inside roll, and we approached them too high with it to make them go inside roll. And then what we did is, we ran at them whichever way we wanted to with the blocking pad. We were too low or we were too high. So we ran at them with the arm like this, too low, as if that projector's the guy, ran this way, they ran through it. I got really, really high the blocking pad and jammed their front shoulder, then they did an inside roll. Or I jammed them right even and they fought top side. So we sort of did one, they got used to it, did the other, got used to it, did the third, got used to it. Then we mixed it up on them. They had to make reads for where we are. Now this was just trying to get them run through a stick. So it's sort of the progression of get used to running through it. A stick cannot stop. That was pretty good there. He just didn't turn his shoulders, and that's why he lost the ball. A lot of their bottom hand is in front of them. That bottom hand's in front of you, you're going to lose the ball. Right? If this projector, if this right here is my defender, if I'm running at him like this, I'm going to lose that ball. If I'm running to him like this, I'm not going to lose that ball. He can't get to my hands unless he moved all the way out here. If he moves all the way out here, then I split him to the inside or I go inside roll. But if he's here where most guys are and I turn, he cannot get to my hands now. All right? We almost never really teach about putting the stick in the box. When we're trying to catch and throw in tight quarters and that, when we're carrying, I don't think that's really important anymore. I can, and that's the question people get, well, you're talking about doing this, Matt. Isn't there a stick exposed behind him? Well, the reason I'm doing this is because the stick's in front of me, and only the stick's in front of me, right? If the stick was behind me, then I'm going to be doing more of this. That stick's in front, that's why I'm doing that. He can't reach behind me, right? So we very rarely really teach that, except for maybe attackman dodging in tight or really throwing and catching. And in really throwing and catching, I'd rather have their hands a little higher. We always say I'd rather have a high pass than a low pass. If a high pass comes, I can get my hands up where they want to be, and I can throw it right away. If it's a low pass, I probably have to cradle 2 or 3 times before I can throw the ball.